Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining our webinar here and taking some time from your lunch to join for those in the Central Time. My name is Omar Ruiz Miranda. I am part of the support team here at ATG. Before the support team here, I used to create a lot of Revit content for manufacturers. So I thought of this couple tools that we used a lot during that process. And I just wanted to share those with you because they are part of the CTC tools, but they are free. And we don't really talk about them a lot. And I thought they were very helpful where we were creating content. So I just wanna, if you don't know those tools and you've heard of them, you know, it's a little refreshing about the tools and what they can do. So this tools specifically is for, like I said, for helping with families. And the process of creating families and type catalogs and knowing what version we're working on, things like that, cleaning our files. So hopefully from this webinar we get you know, to know the tools, how we can get them, where we can download them, also understand the workflow of each one, how we can use them. The tools that I'm talking about are the Revit Properties and the Family tools. They're both coming from two different suites. The Revit Properties come from the BIM Project Suite, and the Family tools come from the BIM Manager Suite. In order to download them, the best way to do it is through the website. I have it open right here. I'm just going to drag it. So this would be the CTC software website. And if you scroll down, you can see the BIM Project Suite and the BIM Manager Suite. Each one will show you each one of the tools that are included. I'll just a quick example here. As you can see, this one, Revit Properties, is right there. And the light colored ones are the free ones. Every suite that you see, if you see, like, the green one is for the project, the blue one is for the manager, the purple one is for the batch suite. But the light colors in those colors means that they are free. So every time you see those ones, even after the expiration date of the trial, the free trial, you get to keep those ones and continue using them. So it's not that bad. So I'm gonna minimize that and we'll continue here. So to download them, you simply go and click on the download area and fill out a form. It's just to get to see who downloads the tools. And then install it, of course, and make sure Revit is closed when you're installing them. The current version will install in Revit 2022 all the way back to 2019. So one installer will give you access to 4 different versions in Revit. So that's great as well. So let's go and talk about the first one, Revit Properties here. So the one of the things and main important things on Revit Properties is that this is not your usual add-in that you will see here on the ribbon for Revit. It's not showing at all. You might not even know that it came in the project suite. A lot of us just downloaded it and like, oh, that's all the tools I get, like this one's right here. There's nothing in here that talks about Revit Properties. And this is because this is a tool that modifies the file explorer in Windows itself. And what it does is basically gives you another option when you right-click things. So this right-click is like when you right-click and say copy and paste and things like that, you will see it says Revit Properties. When you click on those ones, you will see another dialog that presents you with information about the Revit files. It could be a Revit family, a Revit project, a Revit template, or a family template. You'll see the information where about the name, the location, the version, a preview, and you can open it from there. We'll be showing this here soon, but I just wanted to point that out. Some of the things that it cannot do, and I'll show you that as well, is to open a project with detached from central. However, it can open a local file. If you already have a central file, it can open that directly. Also, it does not allow you to specify worksets when you're opening a project. And it does not allow you to audit the file when you open it. Three things that it does not do, but the rest is very sleek, very cool, I would say. So let me bring a folder right here and show you the this process here. So I have a central file right here, and if I right click, you can see my Revit properties right there. When I click on it, you see this dialog brings me up the information about the specific project. So it tells me the file name. It tells me the version that it was saved on. It tells me if it is a central file or not. And it tells me all this other information as well on the path for the central. The preview right here, you can even copy to clipboard this preview and paste it as an image. It's an easy way to get your preview and save it out. You can also copy to clipboard all this information related to the project. And this tool right here, this options, is you can open it in the current version or the newer version. If you want to update it as well, you could do it like that. So all you have to do is just simply select the version and then say open in. So this will open another session of Revit with that model. Same happens to the local files. A good example that I would suggest, or that I've seen, for example, when we're working on a worksheet file with linked files, you know how when we're trying to figure out what's in the linked file, we cannot open it in the same session of Revit. So what we do is open a second session and then open that linked file separately. In this tool, if I come here and click on that linked file and in the file explorer, and I say open in, that saves me that time of me trying to open that specific other session for opening that file, and simply opens that second session for me. That would be a little bit of time saving, and I just wanted to point it out as well. So this not much to do on this one or to show. It's a small tool that it's powerful and it gives you a lot of information. Recently, we had a question from support about a client wanted to access and know the versions of the project that they had without opening Revit. And the first answer we gave them is, family or Revit properties. Even though there are a couple more tools that can give you the versions of Revit, but of course you have to have Revit open. You have to have a project open. One of them is in the batch suite. It's called the project and family upgrader, that has a column right there. When you select a folder, it gives you the version of the Revit files. But of course, this is a premium tool that you have to pay for. But that takes that out of the equation there, and it just gives you that free tool that you can do it without opening Revit. The other tool would be the one that we're going to talk about as well. It's called the Family Tools. Also has an option to see what versions there are. However, what I saw with that one is it shows you, we'll double check the family types or the family versions only, but we'll go to that one as well here soon. I just wanted to share this information specifically for this, if it is helpful for you. I'm going to close this, and I'm going to open it on one of the families. There's one family that is old. As you can see, I renamed this one to, it comes from Revit 2009. That's an old one. So I'm going to do the same thing, Revit Properties. And as you can see here, it tells me that it was saved back in 2009, the version 2009. However, it gives me more information about the family itself, the preview as well. But in here, it gives me all the list of Revit options that I can open it with. Of course, it doesn't give me anything from 16 all the way to 2009 because I don't have those versions of Revit open. The earliest one I have is 2017. So if you had older versions, you could open it with that. But since you only have this one, it knows what you have installed. It gives you the option to open it with any of these ones to upgrade it. Maybe you need to make some modifications. I'll probably go with the earliest I can so I can use them in all of them. Because remember, if you open it with the latest one and make changes, you cannot go back to open it with an earlier one or share it with people that have older versions of Revit. So it's, as we all know, Revit is not backwards compatible. So I just wanted to point that out as well. Even if something is old, it will still catch that version, even if you don't have that Revit version installed. All right, I'm gonna close this, and I'm going to move to the next one. So we talked about this Revit properties here, and we're gonna talk now about family tools. Again, family from the BIM Manager Suite. Remember, the dark blue is premium tools or paid tools. The free ones are right here, and that should be part of the free ones under family tools. I'm gonna open it. So when working with families, or we used to work with families, we had hundreds of content, hundreds of families for one manufacturer, for example. So we're constantly making changes, even a small change like, oh, I need to go and update the manufacturer name or the version or the description or something, anything minimum. You save the family, it creates your backup files, like the addition to 001 at the end of the file. Those are your backups, and those are set when you save a file anywhere in Revit. For example, if you go and save files, save as project, in your options, this will be the number of backup files. So every time I hit save, it's just going to add another backup on top of the other backup. So I have the original plus like 10 more backups that has that 001, 002, 003, etc. If you've seen that one, that's if you go back and they just add weight to your libraries and your drives. It's just extra space that it doesn't need to be there. I usually like to set my families to just like one or two, just to have them there, but I don't really need a lot of backups in there because I'm constantly changing them. So, but anyway, here's where you would change the number of your backups. And this is what, I'm gonna close this. This is what the family tools would do. The other thing about family tools is that once you open it, you really don't need to have Revit open either, because a lot of the functionality here doesn't have to do with Revit or modifying things directly in it. It talks about more modifying things in the library and the file explorer. And let's talk about the first one. Let's start from the top here. As all your CTC tools, you'll have these basic buttons here. Starting from the left here is your help button. This will open the user guide. Your videos will take you to the YouTube page for CTC software. And if they have a video for the specific tool, you will find there or a playlist of videos for the specific tool. Support, of course, will allow you to reach out to us with a bug or a feature request or something that is not working with the tool specifically. And the about will allow you to see the version. This is very important. A lot of people still maybe are in the different versions, and this is a good way to check. So you go to about, and then if you don't have the latest, you can always check here and say download latest suite installer, and it will open the website to where you can download the latest and then verify that if you have the latest, well, it's good. But if you don't, then you can install it from there. From here, again, you also can, like if you were in trial mode, you can buy it or request to buy it here. You can send a feature request to us. You can send a report bug as well. Like something is not working, it's something's bad with the tool, just let us know. And of course, some more information here. You can also access the user guide from here as well. So Those are very typical buttons here in the suites, and all of them, in all of the tools as well. So let's talk about the delete backup files. So before we start here, remember that once we delete the backup files with this tool, they are permanently deleted. They're not coming back. So be aware of that when you're working with this. So the first thing we'll do is to find a folder that contains the families that you're looking for that has the backups. You can go search in this folder, get all the list, and go to the next folder, get the list, etc. As you can see, there's an option here that says include subfolders. So if I'm looking on the parent folder, but there are subfolders for other families, it will also look in there. Now what I have to do here is just refresh the list. And then this actually is just looking at the same folder that I was showing you. So I have some backups right here, like this one, etc. here. And then also this is looking at the parent folder. So this also has like 6 different backups. And those are the ones that are shown right here. So if I click do not include and refresh, it only shows me those ones of the RVT. If I click on this one and refresh list, it shows me what's inside my families folder, which is this ones. So all I can do here, once you select which ones you want, maybe you don't want to get rid of all of them, you can pick them and select one and check what you need. In this case, let's run a couple of them. So I'll do keep these ones and just keep that one, and then I'll run the delete the selected backup files. Of course, you can do select all, deselect all, or invert the selection. I'm just going to go ahead and do this, and here's the permanently deleted message as well. The one I was mentioning before. And you say yes. And it tells you how much space we're able to free up as well. And now if you refresh the list, these are the ones that I left on purpose. If I go back to the folder, refresh, see, all the other backups are gone except for this one that I left on purpose. This doesn't count because this is a copy, so it doesn't really end with the 001, it just ends with copy, so it's not considered a backup, it's just considered another family or a copy of a family. If I go back here, you can see all my other backups are gone. All right, so let's move. That's an easy one. The type catalogs one. I don't know how many of you have dealt with type catalogs. And you probably know how complex and difficult could be. What we used to do is we used to have like families that would contain hundreds of types in them. So we needed to create type catalogs. If you know, the type catalogs are those TXT files that are always saved in the same location next to the families. So for that, you can, if you're really good with the text documents and things like that, you can open the text document and create your own the next types, and then you just have to use semicolons and all those things. Let me just show you before, instead of telling you all this. So if I open a TXT directly, this is what it looks like. It's a little, well, this one is not too bad. It just has the name of the type, the sizes. Actually, this is the name of the type right here. These are the sizes of that. And these go according to the width and the height and the number of styles, things like that. But this is confusing because I cannot really identify what's the width here. Like there are so many numbers, and try to figure out, is this the one or is this the one? It gets confusing. So what we used to do, or what we do, I still do it. I create this one. The process is I can make a copy of this and rename it, and then just delete TXT, and I can substitute it for CSV. The other way is to open Excel and open, and then all the files, and then click the TXT, and then tell it to open it as a CSV or comma delimited file, and it will open it for you. But of course, you'll have two copies now, right? So you have the TXT and you have the CSV. And another thing is like, if you don't have a TXT, you can always start with Excel. That's what we used to do as well. You open a new Excel document, you put all your headers, all the left column with the name of the types, and then start populating everything with your type, numbers, and whatnot. So this is what it would look like in Excel. It's more organized. I can create more things. If I want to create another type, I can like simply do that. The next one up would be, I don't know, 98 maybe, and that would be consistent with a 98 here. So that's a different height. And I can just simply say save, right? And the next thing would be closing the file, but then this is updated. However, this did not get updated. This still has the other types. So what I would do is like maybe delete this one, and then I go back to this one and rename it to TXT. Now this can be seen by Revit when I bring it into a project. It is a very tedious process when you're especially working with hundreds of families at the same time. So again, what I would do is open this and then run the tool here, the family tools. So what it does here is, if I refresh the list, it's the same thing. You select the folder and then you just browse to where it needs to be and refresh the list. It gives you the CSVs that you need. And again, you can simply go in and check for that one. So this was the cloud one. So this is the one that we created here. I'm just going to uncheck the rest. Same functionality, select all, inverse selection. And then you copy the selected CSV to TXT. What is going to do is it's going to take that CSV, is going to convert it to TXT, and it's going to replace my current TXT file right here. As this one you see, it has an older date of the 2020. So when I do this, it's like super quick as well to do that. So let me see, go back here. As you can see now, that just changed the date, because that did it for me. If I go in here and open this file, you can see now my 98 inch height that I just created. And of course, as you saw, this will get populated. I could populate this one with hundreds of type catalogs or CSVs that just in a matter of seconds is just done, instead of me going and opening and renaming it, and with the risk of me committing an error and breaking something, right? So a big time saver for those who create families and type catalogs. But let's move on to the next ones here. The next one is compare shared parameters as well. An example of this one is when a company has their own master shared parameters and they receive maybe content from the manufacturer. Manufacturers not always have like a standard, or there's not really a standard for everyone to have their own parameters. If you're working with the width or the height, each one might have their own different parameters, and the difference is the UID, or the width number. That makes a big difference, because the parameters could have the same name, it's fine, but the width is what makes them different, and is what populates your schedules. And you could find so many different parameters with the same name, and then maybe one family gives you a value in the schedule, the other family won't, because that came from a different shared parameter file. So what you can do here with this tool is compare. If you have the other shared parameter file from manufacturer or a different company, compare it against yours, and you'll get a report, or what's the same, what's different, things like that. So let's just go and show this really quick. So the same process. You browse to the shared parameter one that you want to compare, and then you also navigate to your shared parameter number 2 that you want to compare. Once they are here, you simply say compare. This little generate report, it will give you a pop-up window here with a report, like a type of a TXT format. that you can also save out and keep it in your records somewhere. So let's just compare these two. Here we go. The amount of time that it takes, it's dependent on how big your parameter file is. Sometimes the parameter files have thousands of parameters, so it might take longer. And then this report is basically what you see in the background here. It's just, like I said, in a different format here. I'm gonna close that. And these little sections here will tell you the file 1 versus the file 2 and what unique groups, for example, they have. These are uniques in this parameter in this file. These are unique in this file. These are unique parameters in here, and these are unique parameters on the second file. This is the common parameter between the two, and these are the common groups that are shared between the two. So, you know, this one has an architect, this one also has an architect's group, etc. The last one right here is the conflicts. There are the things that I was telling you about. Each parameter, each shared parameter file contains, you know, appearance schedule, existing, or these other parameters, but they all have their own width or their identification number. They're all the same data type. They are pretty much all the same other things here, but the only thing that changes is that. So this is what you want to know what you're getting. A good and quick comparison methods here to do. Now, again, there are premium tools that can do this with no problem at all, like the shared parameter manager. But, you know, again, that's a premium tool. You have to pay for that. If you already have the vManager suite and you have a seed of that, then no problem. You can use that as well. If you don't, then just keep your free tool and compare this one. Use it to your advantage. So this, again, very simple but powerful option right here for comparing the parameters, the shared parameter files. The next one would be to merge the shared parameters. Once you saw what you need or what you want, the next step would be to find and merge from one file to another. Let's say you have your master, and then you just want to merge the one that you got or specific parameters that you got from manufacturer or other company. You can merge it into yours. The usual merging process or the typical manual process to do this is you simply select in Revit, go to your either project parameters or your family parameters and navigate to where your master share parameter is. You have to do a lot of edits and then find that master. So, you know, you select that one in your family or project. And then let's say you have a family that contains a different parameter that you want to bring. If that parameter is not in your shared parameter files, your dialog, when you go to add parameters or edit the parameter, it will tell you export parameter. That means that the parameter does not exist in your current shared parameter file. You can do this manually one by one in every family. And of course, as you can tell, that would be so time consuming and tiring. So the other easy way to do it is here. Again, you can do it with shared parameter manager, no problem, but this one as well allows you to do that. So the first thing is to select your from shared parameter to shared parameter. So I would probably select in here something that came from the manufacturer. I'll probably put my master shared parameter file here and do it. If you want to, like, oh no, I made a mistake, this was supposed to be down here, you can just swap the files, no problem. So the next thing is to read what's on your from, right? So you're gonna see the parameters that are here. So these are the parameters that are in the, let's say, in the manufacturer shared parameter file or the other company's file. And I'll go through those, see like, well, I probably don't need that one. I probably don't need that one. Maybe I'll need that one, and the rest, you know, it's of course it's up to you to decide which parameters you need. I'll just keep them all on. But it gives you a number of selected parameters. And here's another option for generate the report. But this one is also important here because this allows you to preview it here. It does not create create the file for you with the two merged things. It just gives you an idea what you're gonna get. So when we say merge and preview, it gives you that little report again, but it's probably easier to see right here, all divided and see what's going on. So it's gonna tell you that you have two groups that are gonna be imported, and then 4 parameters that are gonna be imported, but then it also prevents you from making the mistake of adding those parameters that do not exist, or sorry, that exist, but they have a different ID on them. So it's preventing you making that error right there, which is good. Again, doing this process of merging parameters is manually, first of all, is probably a big no-no, you know, especially coming from Autodesk and what we've seen in the past. It's so easy to corrupt the shared parameter files with a little mistake. And if you've seen a shared parameter file when you open it, if not, let me open one for you here. Let's see. I'm just gonna randomly pick one. This is what it looks like. You know, being careful, you can get used to it. You can go through all these parts. You know, this represents your width, and then you just go to the name, you go to the data type, and then like, is there supposed to be something here? I don't know. Is there supposed to be something here? I don't know. But you know, each one, if you were to see it in Excel, it will be nicely organized. But in here, it's so complicated that you don't know what you're actually might be, maybe deleting a space, maybe adding something else that you don't know. You could simply maybe take the 2 TXT files next to each other, copy and paste, and you might be good, but maybe the groups don't even match. If your numbers here are wrong and your numbers here in the groups are wrong, then it's gonna be a corrupted file. So it's always do this at your own risk if you're doing manually, because that may complicate things. So that's why we have this free tool right here to help in that process. And as you can see, it's very simple to set up and to go through it and review it. Once you're ready, you review it, and that's good. You're gonna want to save a file. As you can see, this one is telling me that it's going to create another file with the auto append merged name in it. And right here, it tells me the new name that I'm gonna get. This is good because that way I do not affect my master share parameter file. It just makes me a copy with the 2 merged. If I test it and it works and everything, I could probably just archive the master one and make this one the master, and maybe just rename it, and then relink it back into Revit and the families and things like that. Once you're ready for that, you simply say save merged results, and we're done. No big deal here. Now the last one here. As I go, if you have any questions as well, feel free to let me know, because we're almost done as well. And like I say, the last tab or feature here on this tool is the family file version detector. Remember, I show you the Revit properties, how you can right click it and see the version. Well, this is another one that you can also use to do that. Again, I already have my path here. I'm just gonna do a refresh list. And here's my list of families here. Just move this one. All right, this is something that I was telling you about. This only recognizes family file versions, right? Because it doesn't have any RVTs. That's the difference with this and the Revit properties. The Revit properties, it doesn't care what it is, RVT, RFA, RTE, or whatever. This one does. So once you have populated your list and you're ready to find out, just simply say detect version. This is a very important one to miss. I missed it a couple of times and like, what's going on? It's not working. But yeah, since I would expect this to be like seen in the version right away, but it's just a little extra step. And then once you do that, you will see the Revit version. This is the example family that I gave you before with the Revit properties, the 2009 family. And this one is even say undetectable version 2009. So it's probably because it's just not in my Revit versions anymore. And that gives you a little bit of the name of the family, the path as well. So again, very important, or I would say very easy to use tools, but very powerful. And it helped us a lot in the real world and live projects and live creation of families to to get things out of the door on time. So again, this you can move it on a different screen. You can minimize it, maximize it. You can close Revit and still it stays open. So that it's great tool. Any questions so far on this? Let me just check again. Don't see any questions here. But if you do, don't hesitate to reach out to us, ATG, and like I said, I'm on the support team. If there's any issues with that, let us know. If there's any bugs or anything, we'll be able to test it, identify it, reproduce it, and report it if necessary to the developers, to CTC software as well. So if no other questions or no questions at all, I appreciate your time today, and that would be all. Have a great day.
Hey there, thanks for tuning in. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of the other content on our channel.